Hello YouTube, this is the Lone Pantheist. We just got done talking about Zoroastrianism and the ancient social structure that Iran had with the good thoughts, good deeds, and good actions, or good thoughts, good words, and good deeds. Deeds and actions are the same thing. Anyway, and their whole structure that they developed in Iran. Now we're going to go to India, which was also called Hindustan at the time, and its development of Hinduism, which is a lot different from what we've seen previously, especially out near Israel and Saudi Arabia, where they'd kill people for being of a different religion. Now, in India, it was different. It was more peaceful. There wasn't, okay, well, they believe in something, different. Let's kill them. It was more of, let's find a common ground, and we'll, go from there. They found a common ground, so they kind of came into an umbrella concept of Hinduism. Each sect of Hinduism technically is its own religion. So they purposely, they didn't find, or they had no need to find a reason to kill anybody because they had plenty of resources. They had plenty of, overall, their culture wasn't a warlike culture. They did go to war. There were wars, as you can see in the epics and stuff like that, and there is a caste system. But like I said, these are just kind of little aspects or little hiccups, whatever you want to call them, of Hinduism, which is much less than what you'd see, like I said, near Israel, Saudi Arabia, and parts of Egypt and North Africa, which is very warlike, very different from this little setup. Now their concept of community religious structure was a little different from the Iranians. The Iranians, you had to produce something in their society, which wasn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just that it was something you had to. Everyone had to contribute. Everyone had to have a part. India was the same way, but you could be a priest. You didn't have to just do wielding and stuff like that like you would in Iran. Iran did have priests, and over time the priests became more and more just priests. But before that, the Iranian priests would probably also be out there, helping, with the farmers farming the land and the shepherds and stuff like that. They probably helped with that, much like in Israel. So they just developed their whole little, like I said, their social construct, which is a very very good social construct because out of all the Middle Eastern countries at that time, specifically the Persian Empire, even today, Iran is the better of those countries. I'm sorry, it's true. Saudi Arabia, it's true Israel. Simply because Israel gets help, and this is going to political. Sorry, Israel gets help from the United States. Iran does not. Okay, Iran has a green movement. Okay, because Iranians themselves, be it instilled them from the culture, they're even their form of Islam. They have a different form of Islam than the Arabs. They looked at that and they're like, I'm sorry, we already have a philosophy, so what we're going to do is kind of merge it to you. You kill for drawing, pictures of Muhammad. Well, that's stupid. You can draw pictures of Muhammad here, but yeah, you can in Iran. But and Iran has always had conflicts with Islam being in Iran. The Islamic Republic of Iran is a very new establishment since 1979. It's always had conflicts. There's always been conflicts. The Iranians, they, like I said, I don't know how the Persian Empire, how that flip came about from Zoroastrian to Islam, but it did. There's several articles you can find on the internet. Some say it was war, some say it was the leaders that adopted it. They're not exactly 100% sure what happened. Okay, but the Persian people themselves, all Iranians, they, like I said, they've never been a nation that has been as dedicated to Islam as, say, like Saudi Arabia. In fact, that oftentimes the Arabs and much of the Middle East will actually criticize the Persians for being too Western. That's something that most Americans probably don't know about. Something Persians do know about. At least, I'm not sure if they say it to their face, but the Arabs do, they will say stuff like that. You go online, there's this one video they're showing. This guy was saying, he was talking about the recent riots or whatever. He was from an Arabic country, and he said, the westernized Persians, and they've always been sellouts to Islam and stuff like that. Saying negative things, like I said, Islam's never really sat well in Iran. It's never been, structured. It's never been in its foundation. There's always been opposition to Islam in Iran. And there always will, because they have already developed a social construct that was working, so there was no need to adopt another one that was completely different from theirs. Anyway, now, like I said, I lost my train of thought, but in Iran, like I said, they had their own little social construct. Yes, I'm repeating. You did not, accidentally rewind it. They had their own social construct, that they developed, and then along came Islam, kind of shot that one to hell. But well, I guess we're going to have to end it there because I completely lost my train of thought. So this is what happens when you try to upload. You have 3 attempts per every 3 videos. You're not sure what information you put into what. But if you're interested in the history of any religions or whatever, how they developed, you can always look it up, just online or whatever. Thankfully for the computer, it makes it very easy, whereas before you have to go to a library. If you're in a small city or in part of the country that's very red, yeah, good luck finding something like that ain't, you go to the religious section, it's just Christian stuff. Anyway, yes, so that's how they develop. I didn't get too much into Hinduism, because if you want to know more about that, you can look at my other videos, or better yet, I would go to Hinduism Glance's channel, which is on my channel. One of my friends, also Studboy66, yeah, 66. You can check him out. You can also check several other videos on Hinduism. There's plenty of them in online and on YouTube. You can also, for more information about Iran and Zoroastrianism, you'd probably be better to contact, to ask an Iranian. There are some on my page. You could probably go down to the comment section and probably go to them and ask them, see what's up on that. For Judaism and Christianity and Islam, you could probably find somebody on YouTube, but I really don't like I said, I don't really care about the Abrahamic faith, simply on the fact that they're very pessimistic. So with the whole afterlife, they only developed spirituality, in my opinion, out of the fear tactic. So anyway, that would be it. This was a crappy part 3, but it was still a part 3, so I'm going to have to stick it on the playlist. Yeah, anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Bye.